Okay, Tracy, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All righty, let's go. We'll go on the record with proceeding number 24C-0427-INS. I'm Administrative Law Judge Robert Garvey. Today is the 23rd of October, 2024 at approximately 12 p.m. And this proceeding is the Commission's twice a month, sometimes three times, maybe, show cause hearing in transportation. I'll start with appearances. Mr. Larson, go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Justin Larson with the Colorado Department of Law. With me, as always, is staff witness Marquita Riley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Larson, and as always, good afternoon, Ms. Riley.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Larson, call your first witness.
Actually, briefly, Your Honor, before we get into our case, I actually had a brief preliminary matter I'd like to discuss, if you'll permit.
I guess.
Well,
I don't know what it is yet. Maybe I will.
Sure. It's really just a housekeeping matter I
Sure.
wanted to bring to your attention. So, as you know, there are certain actions that respondents in these cases can take in the 20-day period between before your recommended decision becomes a final order, which might avoid revocation of their authorities. Most of these actions are addressed in your recommended decisions. Using the most recent one as an example, paragraphs 29 through 31 explain that certain respondents can obtain coverage and provide proof of insurance. They can file an application to cancel or suspend their authorities. Staff actually recently brought it to my attention, though, that there's one other similar action that's not mentioned in the recommended decisions, which is voluntary abandonment of the CPCN. This action is also discussed in the same commission rule that addresses suspension of authorities, which that's Rule 6205, which is discussed and cited in paragraph 31 of your most recent decisions. In staff's view, this is probably something that should be treated the same way as suspension or cancellation. Perhaps there is a reason why this has been excluded from recommended decisions before, in which case we're happy to discuss that further. But if you agree that that's something that should be included, we would just kindly suggest that you potentially add some language to that effect in the order. We think it could just be as simple as adding the word voluntarily abandon or before the word suspend on line 3 of paragraph 31. And anyway, we just wanted to, that would track again with the language is Rule 6205, which talks about both voluntary abandonment and suspension in tandem. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there for your consideration. Hear any thoughts, questions, concerns?
Okay, it's fine. I'll write a nasty email to Judge Marbaba, who I stole that from, and who I will see later today, and I will tell her that I don't care. That's fine if that's one of the things out.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And just one more brief point of clarification: to the extent you were going to add language to that effect, and if you were going to add the links to the forms like they are for suspension, under paragraph 31, you'll see there are links to the 2 forms for applications for suspension. I just wanted to note that there are actually also 2 forms for voluntary abandonment, one for common carriers and one for contract carriers. So just a point of clarification if you were going to add that.
I'll think about it. I'll talk to Judge
Sure.
Marbaba about that since I
Okay.
stole her decision. So
No problem. I'm not intending to throw anyone under the bus, Your Honor.
although
Just
I don't care. But realize, I probably only have a few more of these left in me. So
sure.
all right, sorry, I might be leaving our little twice a month party pretty soon. So
Well, we will miss you, Judge, and I appreciate you giving me the time there.
no offense, I won't miss you guys. I got I did these a long time ago, so I'm tired of doing these, but that's fine. I don't mind. It's good. I'll look into that and try and get it in there in the next one. So
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll take a look at it. I'll take a look at it. I promise.
Sounds good.
All right. Now, you want to call your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Staff calls Marquita Riley.
All right, Miss Riley, raise your right hand for me. You swear affirm, tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
All righty. Mr. Larson, go right ahead.
Good afternoon. Can you please state and spell your name for the record, Miss Riley?
Marquita Riley, Marquita Riley.
Who is your current employer?
The Public Utilities Commission.
What's your job title with the commission?
I'm the program assistant for the transportation unit.
And can you describe your role in today's proceeding?
I review the commission records and coordinate with staff with these proceedings against motor carriers that do not have current effective levels of financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Do the statutes and commission rules require motor carriers to file evidence of financial responsibility with the commission?
Yes.
And can you tell us which statutes or rules impose this requirement?
Per Rule 6008 requires that each motor carrier file and maintain evidence of financial responsibility with the commission.
What exactly needs to be provided to the commission in order to show financial responsibility?
Per Rule 6008, motor carriers must electronically file certain forms. An example would be a Form E insurance.
How long does this evidence of financial responsibility remain in effect?
Per Rule 6008 requires that each insurance company give the commission a 30-day advance written notice when insurance is not being renewed or if it's being canceled.
What's the next step when the PUC receives a notification of cancellation or non-renewal?
I will use the database to compile a list of motor carriers that the commission received notice of cancellation.
Thank you. And can we please bring up Exhibit 1 from staff's box? Thank you. And before we get into that, Ms. Riley, were the exhibits for today's hearing provided to the respondents?
Yes, they were.
Now, looking at what's been marked as Exhibit 1 up here on the screen, can you describe what this document is?
Yes, this is the initial hearing cycle listing that contains the names of the respondents that the commission received notice that their financial responsibility was going to expire.
Who prepared this list?
Commission staff,
How was it prepared?
we use the commission's op rights database to compile the list.
When did staff prepare this list?
On October 4th, 2024.
And can you describe where that date appears on Exhibit 1 on the screen there?
Yes, it's on the bottom right corner.
Thank you. Does the commission create a hearing cycle listing like the one we see here in Exhibit 1 as part of its regular course of business activities?
Yes.
Is it the commission's practice to maintain documents like Exhibit 1 as part of its business record in the regular course of business?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves admission of Exhibit 1.
Exhibit 1 shall be admitted.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Riley, based on the list that we see up here, what action did the commission take?
The commission then sent a letter to each respondent.
Thank you. Can we please pull up what has been pre-marked as Exhibit 2 from staff's box? Thank you. So turning your attention to this document, Ms. Riley, can you describe what this document is?
Yes, these are copies of the letters sent to each respondent on today's updated list.
What does the information in the letters tell the respondents?
The letter explains that all operations under its authority are suspended as of the date the insurance expires, unless proof of proper insurance is submitted with the commission. It also provides notice of today's hearing and advises the respondents that if proper evidence of financial responsibility is not submitted to the commission, then its authority may be permanently revoked.
When did the commission send these letters?
The letters were sent out on October 4th, 2024.
Is it the commission's practice to create letters like these in the regular course of business?
Yes.
And is it the commission's practice to maintain letters like Exhibit 2 as part of its records in the regular course of business?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit Exhibit 2.
Exhibit 2 shall be admitted.
Thank you. Ms. Riley, does the commission require motor carriers to establish and maintain a designated agent?
Yes. Per Rule 6006 requires that each motor carrier establish and maintain a designated agent.
Were these notice letters in Exhibit 2 sent to the addresses of the designated agents on file with the commission?
Yes.
How did the commission serve these letters?
Through first-class postal mail.
Thank you. And can we please pull up what's been pre-marked as Exhibit 3 from staff's box? Thank you so much. Now, turning to that Exhibit 3 on the screen there, can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the attachment sent with Exhibit 2. It contains information about the electronic hearing and instructions on how to participate in today's video conference hearing.
And when was this attachment sent to the respondents?
On October 4th, 2024.
Is it the commission's standard practice to include this attachment with the notification letters to the respondents when it holds an electronic hearing?
Yes.
Did the commission create this attachment in the regular course of its business?
Yes.
And is it the commission's practice to maintain attachments like Exhibit 3 in the regular course of its business?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves admission of Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3 shall be admitted.
Thank you. Now, can we please pull up what has been pre-marked as Exhibit number 4 in staff's box? Can you describe this document, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the certificate of service for the notice letters and the attachment sent to the respondents.
Did the commission create this certificate in the regular course of its business activities?
Yes.
Is it the commission's practice to maintain certificates like this in the regular course of its business?
Yes.
Your Honor, staff moves to admit Exhibit 4.
Exhibit 4 shall be admitted.
Now, looking at the language of this certificate, Ms. Riley, it says, quote, whose name and addresses appear below, end quote. And below that it states, quote, see hearing cycle listing, end quote. Are these statements referring to the original hearing cycle listing that we talked about in Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And can we please go back to what has previously been admitted as Exhibit 2? Now, looking at this notice letter, it informs the respondents about what happens if they can provide evidence of insurance or surety coverage before the hearing. If the commission receives evidence of insurance or surety coverage, what happens?
We will not then proceed against that carrier and dismiss them from the hearing cycle listing.
Did staff create an updated hearing cycle listing for today's hearing?
Yes.
Can we please pull up what has been pre-marked as Exhibit 5 from staff's box? Now, looking at this document, can you please describe what this is, Ms. Riley?
Yes, this is the updated hearing cycle listing for today's date. It contains the names of the respondents that we still do not have updated financial responsibility on file with the commission.
Did staff create this list in the same way as you described for hearing Exhibit 1?
Yes.
Who created this document?
Commission staff?
When was it created?
On October 21st, 2024.
Did the commission create this hearing cycle listing in the regular course of business?
Yes.
Is it the commission's practice to maintain the updated hearing cycle listing in Exhibit 5 as part of its records in the regular course of business?
Yes.
Staff moves to admit Exhibit 5, Your Honor.
Exhibit 5 shall be admitted.
Did Ms. Riley, did staff send a letter to all motor carriers listed in Exhibit number 5?
Yes, we did.
And do the addresses listed in hearing Exhibit 5 match the carrier's addresses in hearing Exhibit number 2?
Yes.
When was the last time you checked to see if there were any change in the status of the carriers in Exhibit 5?
This morning, October 23rd, 2024.
Are you aware of any pending applications, either for suspension or cancellation or abandonment affecting any common or contract carriers listed in Exhibit 5?
No, we don't have any pending applications at this time.
Does staff recommend dismissing any carriers listed in hearing Exhibit 5?
Yes, I do have a few.
And can you please list which ones? Oh, apologies.
Sorry. Rocky Mountain Auto and Towing LLC, PUC number 05165. Insurance was updated. The Lucky Few Towing and Recovery LLC, PUC number T-05138. Insurance was updated for them. HBS Enterprises LLC, doing business as Caddy 2, PUC number T-04748. Insurance was updated. MT Towing Inc., PUC number T-05326. Insurance was updated. And lastly, Invesco Limousine LLC, PUC number LL-01057. Insurance was updated for them as well.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. And are you aware of any letters returned to the commission? And can you state which ones, if so?
Yes, we did have two. Mr. Heavy Holding LLC, there was no other address on file to be remailed out. And Hospitality Transportation LLC, the same for them as well. There was no other address on file to be remailed out.
And did you verify that the addresses for those two respondents matched the system?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. Just a few concluding questions. When does the decision made after this hearing become a final commission decision?
The recommended decision will become a final commission order decision 20 days after the administrative law judge issues the decision if no exceptions are filed.
And what happens if a carrier provides proper proof of insurance before the decision becomes a final order?
Then the recommended decision will not be enforced against that respondent.
What is staff's overall recommendation for today?
Staff recommends that the certificate or permit numbers of the motor carriers listed on hearing Exhibit 5 be revoked due to lack of financial responsibility as required by law, except for Rocky Mountain Auto and Towing, the Lucky Few Towing and Recovery LLC, Caddy 2, MT Towing Inc., and Invesco Limousine LLC.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. No further questions, and staff rests its case, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, Ms. Riley, real quickly again. So I'll make sure I get them right. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Let me see. I got, because I was late on the one. Rocky Mountain Auto and Towing.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucky Few.
Mm-hmm.
MT Towing.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? HBS Enterprises.
Yep.
And Invesco Limousine.
That is correct.
All right. And they all got new insurance.
Yes.
All right. I have nothing further. Mr. Larson, you got anything further?
Nothing from us, Your Honor.
All righty. Okay. Thank you very much, as always, Ms. Riley. Thank you. Thank you for appearing. Thank you for your testimony. Mr. Larson, thank you. Thank you for telling me what I'm doing wrong. I appreciate that. There's always something I'm doing wrong. So I appreciate what I'm doing. I don't care. It's fine. I'll try and fix that.
Okay.
But if nothing else, we'll be in adjournment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Okay.